Did you know that eating disorders are the second deadliest mental illness, right behind drug dependency? The destructive impact of diet culture can better be understood by examining the strengths, weaknesses, and future opportunities of the two artifacts, Intuitive Eating by Evelyn Tribal and Elise Resch, and Recognizing and Resisting Diet Culture by Regan Chastain. To begin, we will look at the strengths of each article. The Intuitive Eating Workbook is strong in that it offers a large quantity of scientific information about the harmful nature of chronic dieting. For example, a follow-up study on the contestants of The Biggest Loser showed that their health actually depleted. Their metabolisms were suppressed by an average of 500 calories compared to their baseline. Secondly, this artifact provides counterintuitive and practical ways to deal with diet culture and healing yourself with that. Rather than submitting to your biological default, you can cultivate mindful practices for dealing with those urges and different shame goblins. The second artifact is strong in that it expresses a strong contrast between the discrimination between fat and thin people in everyday experiences. For example, if a fat person were to enter a medical facility with the same problem as a thin person, they'd be treated different. They would be given suggestions for bariatric surgery, stomach staples, and a thin person might be given more science and evidence-based interventions. It's also strong because it illustrates how attitudes toward obesity actually lead towards a sense of trauma and shame when engaging in movement and exercise. Secondly, we will move forward by examining the weaknesses of each article. Intuitive Eating, this workbook, while it is incredible, it is also weak because it is not widely accessible to the public. Because it is a textbook, not everybody's going to come across it very often. It's not something that you really find just lying around, not something that comes out very often. The second artifact is weak in that it is heavily appealing to pathos because it's giving a lot of testimonials, it's giving a lot of shared experiences, so scientific minds might not be swayed by this type of argumentation. Lastly, we will look at the future opportunities. As traction builds within the intuitive eating community, opposition to diet culture will increase, and the possibility for greater general health and healing is increased. The future opportunities that come with the second artifact is that it's available to everybody. So the more people desire to learn more about it, the more that they are going to realize, and the more they're going to get an understanding of other people's experiences. Lastly, I would like to conclude by saying 28.8 million Americans are affected by eating disorders. So if you or a loved one are struggling with this, I am asking that you do the kind thing to yourself and contact a counselor or even just a close friend to begin your healing journey. By consulting Intuitive Eating by Evelyn Tribal and Elise Resch and Recognizing and Resisting Diet Culture by Regan Chastain, we have a better understanding of the detrimental impact of diet culture and how to move forward from it. Thank you for listening. I don't know how